links to join channel here over at Subscribestar, are now over at Odyssey. So guys, is it time for more women in Star Wars to lead the helm? No, absolutely not. What's wrong? The thing is, you just got to be more honest about this. Like, oh wait, chicks directing? No, that's cringe, dude. Cancer. And then, like, immediately they're gonna have an ad hominem. But you go, yeah, it's just my opinion. Diversity. Oh God, lame, fake, and lighthearted and frivolous. No. Just get some English men to be directors. Istophobe says, well, yeah, I get it. I get the ad hom, but this is just an opinion. It's just like your opinion, dude. So, Star Wars, feminist man-hating activist, is doing the next piece of globalist propaganda from Klaus Schwab's WEF, where she's just a puppet for the international NGO masters. And if Disney is funded by Fink and Schwab, they don't have to be profitable. They just have to make these stupid propaganda movies that are pushing a certain narrative. So hire a woke SJW activist by the name of Obaid Shinoy, who hates men. Check. Do you hate men? Oh, absolutely. Oh, just freaking perfect. And she does this interview. She says she likes to make men feel uncomfortable with Jon Stewart, and she just goes on and on about how she likes to make men uncomfortable in the movies because she's right and they're wrong. And in these echo chamber interviews, like all of Hollywood's this echo chamber, once you're on point with the narrative, then you're in an echo chamber as long as you continue to make the stuff that they want, because the movies don't actually have to sell. They just have to be pieces of propaganda. And so nobody ever challenges you because they really believe as you believe. Maybe not all of them are as far left whack jobs, but these people are insulated by wealth, and they're insulated by this clique of they're this crowd. They always give themselves awards, so they make these nonsensical movies about BLT people in Pakistan or something. Mildly interesting movie, and it'll win all kinds of awards. Or they'll do movies about lesbian basket weaving in the Arctic or something. And it wins awards. It's just nothing special movies, but then they go, okay, this director has won all these awards for movies that were under $100,000, and they're just okay movies. She did fine, and they go, oh, great, let's give her a $250 million Star Wars movie for this feminist anti-man, probably anti-white, anti-Christian globalist director. It's like, she doesn't really have the pedigree for that. Are you kidding? She won all these awards. Yeah, that was like a $200,000 movie. It's filmed on a hidden camera or something. It's not quite okay. But what does she know about Star Wars? She's like, what the hell is Star Wars? You're perfect for the job. That's all we need. So she likes to make men uncomfortable. Say, hey, wait, isn't your audience primarily men? Yeah, that's right. And you don't seem to like them. In fact, you like making movies that make them uncomfortable so you could lecture them about, I don't know, some kind of feminist cancer, which is, all feminism is cancer or something. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, you're perfect. So how much money is this movie going to lose? It doesn't matter. Disney doesn't care about the money. They're beyond money. So she's going to be the next Rey movie with Daisy Ridley, a part 2 to the last Disney trilogy. A feminist activist in Disney's view is the perfect person to make a woman's Star Wars movie. And I was going to say that we need less women in Star Wars because obviously they're horrible at it, but who cares now? Because it's beyond the point of trying to fix it or anyone even wanting to fix it. People just don't care anymore. It's the opposite side of it's not hate or touch grass. It's just apathy. It's like, oh, great, you guys have Star Wars. Great, make it lame, diverse, and put a female in it. Nobody cares. So at this point, I'm more on the side of team acceleration. Get diverse, lame, woke women, all you want, and just burn Hollywood down, because eventually you run out of even the other people's money. And not just Star Wars, but all of Disney and Hollywood as well. The director says it's time. We're in 2024. It's past due that a woman steps up to help shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, well, why? Why exactly? And they go, oh, I just said the conclusion. I don't need to give you the argument. It's just a conclusion. Oh, diversity, representation. I think all that's cringe. Oh, this movie's not for you then. You're right. But the problem for you is I represent millions of people who think all this diversity and feminism is absolute cancer. We're not globalists. We're nationalists. We're tribalists, just like this woman is. But it's tribalism for her, but not for you. And hey, more and more people are catching on to this kind of stuff. So she thinks a woman is the best person for the gig. I think the best person to shape the story is a blonde-haired, green-eyed Englishman who is super based. And I want to hear stories from a nationalist perspective, a very English-focused, Euro-tribalist type of perspective. Can I get that in a story? I mean, there's an audience out there for those kind of stories. Isn't it a little bit weird that there's nothing in Hollywood that shows those, like, that makes movies just for you? Just for you? I mean, they make movies just for other people, but not just for you. So why exactly would a woman do a better job than a man? George Lucas is the guy who created it. Shouldn't you get a man who's a fan of Star Wars and who's the same ethnicity as George Lucas? Lucas is an English name, I think. Because I remember Lucas Electronics from old Jaguars and whatnot. Because the thing is, if the left plays identity politics, then you have to also. Otherwise, they'll control the narrative. I got so tribal over the events of the past few years. I don't even want to see anything that doesn't put my tribe first and foremost. And like I said, I represent millions of people. There's a lot of us who are kind of giving each other knowing looks online or in person who are just done with this kind of stuff. I have PTSD from woke Mary Sues and POCs and WOCs and BLTs and furry trans otherkins from careful what planet you pick there. So I cannot watch them anymore, which means obviously I'm done with. I was gonna say Neptune. I swear I'm done with Hollywood. Oh hey, look, a Pox girl who's super smart and a dumb blonde guy. Yeah, that doesn't make sense when it's every single time because those blonde people built Europe, the triangle of innovation, the UK, Germany, France. I think it's one other little country in that thing too. Yeah, that like portraying the blonde men or blonde people as just so incompetent doesn't really make sense when you look at their history of accomplishments. It very similar to it only goes so far. But like I said, you can forget all about Hollywood. That ship has sailed. These people now, they're mask off activists. This is a Schwab WEF speaker. Who's making Star Wars, who has no experience whatsoever. She's just there to make propaganda. So Disney is controlled by globalists. They hate Star Wars, the audience, and George Lucas. To be blunt, they just hate you because of your ethnicity. It really is just that simple, and even more so if you're Christian. But it's impossible to ignore and have all this make sense. So this movie is going to be a follow-up to the Disney trilogy with Daisy Ridley and a bunch of other actors who I don't think even by now anyone cares about. And it's going to bomb because nobody cares about Rey or Star Wars. People saw the Disney trilogy because they just wanted to finish what they started 50 years ago in 1977. They are done with it. Disney killed it. Dear Disney, I don't value feminists involved in anything, and I want European diversity, not something that follows a woke Larry Fink checklist where it's like you're just going down the line of ethnicities and checking off a box. That's not how you make movies. That's literally the definition of propaganda. Oh no, it's got to pass the Bechdel test. Again, by definition, that's propaganda. But most importantly, follow the original vibe of the original storyteller. In this case, the George Lucas wrote the trilogy. That setting, the tone, that was perfect because it was the original. Just match that exactly. It did have actors from all over the world, but it was mostly focused on the core Han, Luke, Leia characters. But there were other actors from around the world in the background. They were just all they needed to be there was for brief background scenes. There was a couple with the fighter pilots were from all over, just to let you know that they are in this universe. Like that's the lightest of light touches, and that was from Lucas. That's what his original storyline was. You have to respect that, and otherwise, like, why'd you buy the properties, the rights to make the movies? Like, well, because we just want the name for bait and switch. It's like, yeah, but you made it totally lame. It's like the stuff you're making now. You spend all this money on it, and you're not getting that money back. And like to make Solo and have the first Star Wars movie bomb, when you should be printing money with it. And then how are your theme parks going? Where you have the Millennium Falcon set up, and I forget what they call that little village. It's like, is that all panning out? Are the toys and the clothing, are they really selling that well? It's like, well, no, because Disney lost money. Anyway, make what Lucas intended to make. Just stick to it. Make a movie with more blonde people in it. Let me be clear. Disney diversity. It's lame what they're doing with it. The audience doesn't buy tickets to see it. Who's the guy in the Luke Skywalker, blonde-haired guy, farm boy, goes off on the big adventure. Can you make movies with more pretty white people? With Leia and Han Solo and all those other characters, Obi-Wan. Can you do that? Because I get the feeling you'd probably get your audience back if you did. Well, by now, no. I think by now it's too late. But if they did, it's like it would have been so simple. No. You understand? Rogue One, we're gonna put a chick in it. Okay, Rogue One. I'll give you that. That was the one movie that was okay. But the thing is, it's not just me saying. Listen, intolerant Hugo Boss. It's not just me saying this. It's the freaking audience. People are very tribal. They want to see their tribe on screen, like this woman wants to see her tribe, and like the Wakanda movies were so popular because that tribe was represented on screen. Everyone is tribal. It's just not enough people are like me and honestly saying these things. And if you just puke up everybody from like this United Colors of Bennington ad, you don't open up we're leaving money on the table. Was it Leslie Headland or Alonzo or something? You're not leaving money on the table. You don't get all those audiences to watch the movie. The movie just bombs. People want to see just their tribe on screen. And for the fair people of the light-eyed people of tribe Europa, you can't make them the bad guys every single time. And whether it's movies on big screen or streaming or TV shows or even comic books, it's every single time a blonde-haired person is gonna or red hair or green or blue eyes, they're going to be the bad guys. It's ridiculous to the point where even normies are kind of catching on to this kind of stuff. And the movies are bombing, which is great to watch. And, the events of the past few years have made people have very strong, they'll say anything in the comments, in-group preferences. And as a consequence, these woke, diverse movies are bombing, which is fabulous to sit back. That's worth eating popcorn for. Which is great, because anything that gets people away from the Hollywood brainwashing is good. We're making our own entertainment by doing live streams and videos across platforms with, an $80 cell phone, a $100 Kindle, and a $10 microphone. And there's tons of this kind of stuff out there. And obviously it's not the $200 million Hollywood movie with a multi-billion-dollar network in place, but it doesn't have to be because the stuff they're making is so crap. It's the diversity in comics model is a great model where the mainstream, the billion-dollar industry is making stuff that's so horrible that some dude in a car with a cell phone and his comic book can get put on the map and start an alternative industry. It's like when you got a field full of fertilizer, it's like a lot of stuff can grow in there. I don't know where I was going with that. We're making our own. We're rolling our own entertainment, bro. And yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if we had $200 million to make a movie and a distribution network and finance it, but we don't. But the thing is, they have it, but it's kind of a moot point because they're not doing anything with it. Everything they make is some kind of like. So how was Blue Beetle? Yeah, I know it's Warner Brothers. Whatever. How was I think that bombed. How was Wish? How was Elemental? How was all the Disney animation? How's The Little Mermaid? Did it make money yet? Almost. It's very close to being profitable. It's like. So a $300 million movie, it's like, shouldn't those make money like really quickly? Shouldn't they be? How was Wish? How was The Marvels with Brie Larson? $200 million in the red. Oh, like how often can you make movies that lose like $50 million, $100 million? Well, eventually they're going to run out of money, and they're not going to turn the ship around. They really don't care. It'd be like the Kool-Aid people just like suddenly having an epiphany and go, oh, you know what? This is crazy, right? The Kool-Aid and the whole space aliens and stuff. Why don't we hold off on this a little bit? If there's or the comet was going over. What was that? It was just a couple years ago. It was like 20 years ago in the 90s. It was 30 years ago in the 90s. The comet's going by. Like, yeah, why don't they come down here and pick us up? We don't need to like send our souls out there by having cyanide cocktails. Just hold off on this a little bit. Like, no, they just go through it. It's like. It's a religion. It's a religion. People just don't understand it's a $150 billion religion or $1 trillion religion when you look at all the Hollywood entertainment. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Join the Odyssey now if you want. That'd be very cool. Thanks, everyone over there. and or the subscribe star, and I'll see you guys all next episode. Yes? No? Maybe?